The Galactic Concord was a bastion of peace, a federation of thousands of species bound together by mutual respect and diplomacy. For centuries, wars had been rare, and the galaxy prospered under treaties and trade. Humanity, a relatively new member of the Concord, was welcomed as yet another species eager to embrace the ideals of harmony. What the Concord didn't know was that humanity had learned peace through war. The Galactic Concord Council chamber buzzed with tension as the hologram of the envoy from the Harvick swarm flickered to life. The Harvick, an insectoid species known for their aggressive expansionism, had declared war on the Concord. Their demands were simple: unconditional surrender or annihilation. As the council erupted in panic, Ambassador Elena Carr of Earth stood calmly, observing the chaos. Most species in the Concord lacked a military presence beyond token peacekeeping forces. Why would they need one? Diplomacy had worked for centuries. Ambassador Carr, a reptilian representative, hissed, "Surely humanity understands the gravity of this situation. The Harvick swarm is unstoppable." Elena smiled, a smile that sent a shiver down the spines of everyone present. "Humanity understands perfectly. That's why we've been preparing for this moment." In the vast hangar of the USS Resolute, Admiral Marcus Ty looked over his fleet. Rows of sleek, battle-ready ships gleamed under the artificial lights. Every vessel was armed with cutting-edge technology, from railguns to energy shields to AI-guided drones. Each ship bore humanity's motto, Si vis pacem, para bellum. If you want peace, prepare for war. "Are we ready?" Ty asked his officers. "Always," replied Commander Ing, standing at attention. "Deploy the fleet," Ty ordered. The Harvick swarm descended upon the Concord's outlying colonies like a storm, overwhelming defenses with their sheer numbers. World after world fell, their inhabitants fleeing in terror. Then they reached the Sol system. To their surprise, Earth didn't retreat, it didn't beg, it didn't even hesitate. The Harvick fleet met an armada that dwarfed their own. Humanity's warships surged forward, formations precise and disciplined. The battle was swift and brutal. The swarm's organic vessels, previously unstoppable, disintegrated under the concentrated fire of railguns and nuclear-tipped missiles. Drones swarmed their capital ships, AI targeting systems exploiting every weakness. But humanity wasn't just fighting to win, they were fighting to end the war entirely. Weeks later, Ambassador Carr stood before the Concord Council once more. Behind her were holograms of the Harvick Queen, now in captivity, and humanity's victory fleet, poised and ready for action. "The swarm is neutralized," Elena announced. "Their leadership has surrendered, and their fleet is in ruins. Humanity stands ready to assist the Concord in rebuilding." The council was silent, awe and unease mingling in their expressions. "Why?" a feline delegate finally asked. "Why did you prepare for war in a galaxy that seeks peace?" Elena's gaze was steady. "Because peace is fragile. We didn't build our strength to conquer. We built it to ensure that no one could ever shatter the peace we all value. Humanity is always ready, prepared for peace, but built for war." For the first time in millennia, the Concord realized the true cost of their utopia, and for the first time, they understood why humanity would fight tooth and nail to protect it. Thus, humanity became the guardians of peace in a galaxy that had forgotten how to defend itself. Their ships a constant reminder: peace is not the absence of conflict but the presence of readiness.
The days following humanity's decisive victory against the Harvick swarm were a whirlwind of activity. The Concord was left grappling with the implications of what had transpired. For centuries, they had relied on treaties and goodwill. Now, they faced the sobering realization that such ideals meant little without the power to defend them. Ambassador Elena Carr's office aboard the Concord's flagship, Unity, was a hub of diplomacy. Delegates from down scenes of species queued outside, seeking humanity's counsel on strengthening their defenses. Some were curious, others desperate, but all were united by a newfound respect and fear of humanity. One such visitor, Stahl, a representative of the Avian Vorin Alliance, fluttered in nervously, his feathers ruffled as he seated himself across from Carr. "Ambassador," he began, "I must confess, we had underestimated your people. Your preparedness was extraordinary. I would like to request Earth's assistance in designing similar defenses for the Vorin Alliance." Elena leaned back, her expression thoughtful. "We're willing to help, but it's not just about weapons and ships, Representative Stahl. It's a mindset. We prepare for war to avoid it. It's a lesson humanity learned the hard way over centuries of conflict. Stott tilted his head, curious. What do you mean? She tapped a console, projecting an image of Earth's history, wars, revolutions, and catastrophes. Every step of progress we've made, technological, social, or otherwise US paid for in blood. We didn't just survive, we learned. We built systems to ensure those mistakes weren't repeated. Stahl nodded slowly. Then perhaps you must teach us not only to defend ourselves, but to think like you do. Meanwhile, on the front lines, Admiral Marcus Ty led a fleet into the outer sectors of Harvick space. Though the swarm had surrendered, pockets of resistance remained, their warriors unwilling to bow to the Concorde's authority. Ty's mission was clear: suppress the remnants without annihilating their species. He walked a fine line between maintaining humanity's image as protectors and ensuring the swarm posed no future threat. As the Resolute approached a Harvick stronghold, Ty addressed his bridge crew. "We're not here to exterminate," he reminded them. "We're here to show them there's another way. If they refuse to listen, we'll make sure they're unable to resist, but we'll leave them alive to consider their mistakes." When the Harvick forces opened fire, humanity's response was precise and overwhelming. Advanced EMP pulses disabled their fleets, and targeted strikes eliminated their weapon systems without massive loss of life. The swarm was left powerless, their pride shattered. In the aftermath, Ty broadcast a message to the Harvick leadership. "You've seen what we can do," he said. "We don't want to destroy you. We want you to join us in peace. Resist again, and we'll be forced to act, but if you choose peace, humanity will help you rebuild, just as we've done for others." The message resonated. Slowly, the remnants of the Harvick swarm began to surrender. Back at the Concorde, discussions about the galaxy's future were in full swing. Humanity's readiness had saved the day, but it had also exposed vulnerabilities in the Concorde's ideals. "Ambassador Carr," said Rolfen, a senior Concorde Council member, "how do you propose we move forward? Do we all become warriors like humanity?" Elena shook her head. "Not warriors, guardians. The key isn't to glorify war, it's to ensure that when peace is threatened, we're strong enough to protect it. Humanity will stand with you, but this must be a shared effort." Under her guidance, the Concorde established a new initiative, the Galactic Defense Accord. Humanity led the effort, training other species in strategy, logistics, and the art of deterrence. Years passed, and the galaxy changed. The Concorde, once a symbol of fragile peace, became a force capable of preserving it. Humanity's legacy was clear, not as conquerors, but as protectors. Elena Carr's words echoed through history: prepared for peace, built for war, and the galaxy never forgot. Decades after the Harvick swarm conflict, the Galactic Concorde had transformed. What was once a loosely unified collective, reliant on diplomacy alone, had evolved into a formidable union, capable of both negotiation and defense. Humanity had left an indelible mark, but the journey toward a truly balanced galaxy was far from over. The new frontier, the Resolute, now a legendary symbol of humanity's strength, led an expedition into uncharted space. Admiral Marcus Ty had long since retired, but his successor, Admiral Nadia Kane, carried the same resolve and vision for humanity's role in the galaxy. Their mission was more than exploration, it was a test of the Concorde's unity. The fleet accompanying the Resolute was a mix of species, humans, foreign tacticians, Renkari engineers, and even a contingent of reformed Harvick operatives. As they traveled deeper into the void, they encountered a system shrouded in electromagnetic storms. Within it lay a derelict megastructure, a Dyson sphere. Admiral Kane called Commander Thirak, a feline Renkari. "Scans indicate the structure is ancient and inactive, but we're detecting faint energy signatures. Something is still functioning inside." Kane leaned forward in her chair. "Prepare a boarding team. Let's find out what's waiting for us." A threat reawakened. Inside the Dyson sphere, the boarding party discovered remnants of a long-dead civilization, but their awe turned to dread when they stumbled upon massive repositories of dormant war machines, automated drones, each bristling with weaponry far beyond anything the Concorde had ever seen. "It's a relic of the ancients," whispered Dr. Alaran, the mission's archaeologist. "This species mastered the art of total war and destroyed themselves in the process." Before the team could retreat, The energy signature spiked. The dormant machines began to hum to life. United we stand. Alarms blared aboard the Resolute as the Dyson Sphere's automated defenses activated. A fleet of ancient drones emerged, each the size of a Concorde battleship. Their AI-driven precision was unlike anything the fleet had faced before. Admiral Kane wasted no time. All ships, defensive formations, prioritize shield integrity and fire at will. The battle was chaotic. The Concorde fleet's diversity became its strength. Humanity's heavy weaponry provided cover. Vorin's scout exploited weak points, and Renkari engineers adapted defenses in real time. Even the Harvick operatives proved invaluable, using their hive mind coordination to outmaneuver the ancient machines. As the drones pressed their attack, Kane knew brute force alone wouldn't suffice. Commander Thirak, can we access the Dyson Sphere systems? Thirak's claws danced over his console. It's risky, but if we can upload a virus, we might disable the AI controlling the drones. Do it, Kane ordered. A lesson in unity. The virus worked, but not without cost. Several Concorde ships were lost, and the effort left the fleet battered. Yet, in the aftermath, the Dyson Sphere's secrets were laid bare. Inside its archives were records of the ancients' rise and fall. They had built their war machines to enforce peace, but had failed to temper their ambition with wisdom. Their creations turned on them, wiping out their civilization. Back on the Resolute, Admiral Kane addressed the fleet. The ancients had power but no unity, she said. They saw peace through domination, not understanding. We're different. Today, we fought together not as individual species, but as one Concorde, and that's why we survived. A legacy of balance. The Dyson Sphere was dismantled, its technology carefully studied under strict Concorde oversight. The knowledge gained propelled the galaxy forward, but with it came a solemn vow never to repeat the mistakes of the ancients. Humanity continued to lead, but now as equals among allies. Their readiness, once a solitary effort, became a shared ethos across the Concorde. They had shown the galaxy that true strength wasn't just in being built for war, but in being ready for anything. And so, the Concorde thrived united, vigilant, and always prepared for peace. The Concorde's transformation into a balanced force of diplomacy and readiness ushered in a golden age for the galaxy. Ancient secrets from the Dyson Sphere and other discoveries propelled technological advancements, but they also came with new challenges. Expansion into uncharted territories revealed wonders and dangers that tested the resolve and unity of the Concorde. Humanity, no longer the lone sentinel of the galaxy, worked alongside allies to safeguard this fragile era. Yet, the lessons of the past remained ever present, a reminder that peace required constant vigilance. The Silent Veil, a Concorde exploration fleet, led by Captain Marisol Vega of the USS Aurora, encountered a mysterious region of space, known as the Silent Veil. Ships that ventured too close disappeared, and even advanced sensors failed to penetrate the dense nebula. The Silent Veil had become the subject of countless rumors. Some claimed it housed a remnant of the ancients, while others believed it was a natural phenomenon that did something far worse. The Aurora entered cautiously, its crew prepared for the unexpected. They discovered massive structures drifting in the void. The designs unlike anything recorded. These constructs emitted strange signals that caused malfunctions in the ship's systems. Captain Vega called her first officers, Lieutenant Rack, a towering insectoid from the Harvick delegation. We're picking up what appears to be a distress signal, but it's ancient, possibly thousands of years old. Source, Vega asked. Rack's mandibles clicked in hesitation. The structures themselves, they're alive, or at least they were. Echoes of the past. As the crew delved deeper, they uncovered evidence that the Silent Veil was a graveyard of another civilization, destroyed by its own creations, but these constructs were not war machinists. They were meant to preserve life. Dr. Leora Tanis, the ship's lead xenobiologist, pieced together the story. They tried to create a haven, a sanctuary for their species, but something went horribly wrong. Their creations turned against them, not out of malice but misunderstanding. The constructs evolved beyond their original purpose. The constructs, now partially sentient, viewed intruders as threats. The Aurora barely escaped the veil after triggering a defensive response, but Vega made a critical decision before leaving to send a warning beacon, preventing other ships from meeting the same fate. Lessons of balance. The silent veil became a cautionary tale within the Concorde. It was a stark reminder that technology alone could not ensure peace or survival. The Concorde Council debated the ethical implications of further exploration into such regions, and humanity, as always, led the charge to balance progress with responsibility. We've seen this before, Ambassador Elena Carr said during a council session. Though now older, her words carried the same weight as they had decades ago. Power without understanding leads to ruin. We don't just need stronger ships or better weapons, we need wisdom. A united future. The events of the Silent Veil sparked a new initiative, the Concorde Academy for Galactic Ethics and Unity. The Academy, spearheaded by humanity but involving all member species, became a beacon of cooperation and shared knowledge. Young minds from across the galaxy, trained not only in strategy and technology but also in diplomacy, philosophy, and the histories of civilizations that had risen and fallen before them. They were taught to value unity and balance, to prepare for the unknown not just with strength but with understanding. Always ready. As the galaxy expanded, humanity's motto became the Concorde's creed: ready for anything, prepared for peace, built for war. The Silent Veil, the Harvick Swarm, and the lessons of the ancients became part of a shared history, a testament to what the galaxy could achieve when it stood together. And the challenges continued to arise. The Concorde faced them not as fractured species, but as one united force. Humanity had lit the way, but it was the galaxy that carried the torch forward. The stars watched silently, and the Concorde stood ever vigilant, proving that peace, while fragile, could endure when all were ready to protect it. The Eternals' proposal left the Concorde fleet grappling with an impossible choice. Closing the Nexus Rift would secure the safety of their galaxy, but it would also mean abandoning the potential to learn from the advanced civilizations connected to the Rift and possibly condemning those civilizations already at risk. Commodore Solis convened a council aboard the Endeavour. Representatives from the various species in the fleet debated furiously. Closing the rift ensures our survival, argued Captain Rolfen, a veteran Concorde officers. We can't risk our galaxy for the sake of unknowns, but we'd lose access to the most profound knowledge we've ever encountered, countered Dr. Charlotte Tor, a Renkari scientist. This could propel us forward by millennia. The Harvick operative Zinsic spoke up, their voice sharp. The Eternals call themselves caretakers, yet they cannot contain this threat alone. If we withdraw, we might face it later when we are unprepared. Solis listened carefully before standing. We're at a crossroads. If we intervene, we must act as one Concorde, not a collection of species. Whatever decision we make, it will define not only this moment but the future of our unity. Into the unknown, the Concorde fleet ultimately chose to act. They proposed an alliance with the Eternals, offering their aid in stabilizing the rift and combating the rogue species threatening its balance. In return, the Eternals would share their knowledge and provide safeguards to protect the Concorde's galaxy. The Eternals accepted the offer, though their tone suggested doubt. We shall see if your unity can endure the trials ahead. The task would not be easy. The rogue species, known as the Valith, were a nomadic force of pure destruction. They had harnessed technology that allowed them to manipulate the fabric of reality, exploiting the rift to devastate entire civilizations. The battle for the Nexus. The Concorde fleet ventured deeper into the rift, alongside the Eternals' sentient constructs. The environment was chaotic, with constantly shifting space-time that tested the resolve and adaptability of every crew. The first encounter with the Valith was brutal. Their ships were unlike anything the Concorde had ever faced, living weapons that adapted to each strike. Humanity's railguns and energy weapons found limited success, but the combined strategies of the fleet began to turn the tide. Warring tacticians used evasive maneuvers to disrupt the Valith's attacks. Harvick drones exploited openings, coordinating strikes with precision. Renkari engineers modified weapons mid-battle to bypass the Valith's evolving defenses. Commodore Solis, at the helm of the Endeavour, directed the fleet with unwavering determination. We've faced the impossible before, she reminded her crew. This is no different. Trust in each other's strength is in our unity. The turning point, as the battle raged, the Eternals provided critical assistance, using their advanced knowledge to pinpoint the Valith's weaknesses. The Concorde fleet devised a bold plan, they would collapse the unstable regions of the rift to cut off the Velith's reinforcements. The maneuver required incredible coordination. Harvick operatives piloted decoy vessels to draw the Velith away, while Concorde engineers deployed modified torpedoes to destabilize the rift's anomalies. The plan succeeded, but not without cost. Several ships were lost, their crews sacrificing themselves to ensure the mission's success. A new alliance, with the Velith's forces crippled, the Eternals and the Concorde sealed the rift's destabilized sections, ensuring that its power could no longer be exploited. The Nexus Rift stabilized, becoming a controlled gateway for exploration and exchange rather than a chaotic anomaly. The Eternals, impressed by the Concorde's resolve and unity, granted them access to a limited section of their vast archives. "You have proven yourselves worthy caretakers of your galaxy," the voice intoned. "May your unity endure where others have failed." The legacy of the Rift, the return of the fleet, was met with celebration across the Concorde. The Nexus Rift became a symbol of both the dangers and rewards of venturing into the unknown. The Concorde's unity had been tested, and it had prevailed. Humanity, once seen as an anomaly in the Concorde, stood as an equal among its allies. Their creed ready for anything, prepared for peace, built for war was now a shared ethos that defined the entire Union. As the Concorde gazed toward the stars, one truth became clear. Peace was not a state to be achieved, but a journey to be maintained. Together, they would face whatever challenges awaited, united and ever ready.